to use my NYC loose powder, and then we'll move on to the eyes after. I'm just going to be doing some baking really fast. I wasn't going to bake, but you know, sometimes it just kind of happens, and that's okay. I don't feel like I need to set the bronzer or anything, but I'm just gonna go around with whatever loose powder is left over. Just dab it everywhere. So I'm actually just gonna use my Milani blush in Luminoso because I'm feeling a bit peachy, and the two new blushes that I have are more pink. So I'm just gonna try applying this and see how it works next to the bronzer. I do feel like it layered very nicely with the bronzer and the contour, and even with some of the under eye concealer because I did bring it down a little bit. There are also brow products in this eyes palette. I normally use a pencil, but there is a wax and there is a powder. Oh, there's actually two brow powders. And there is a brow brush. I'm going to just go ahead and use it. Why not? Let's test it out. It's funny because one says brunette, the other one says blonde, but seriously, they look the same to me. They literally look the same. To me anyways. This one's a little bit teeny tiny deeper, but I don't know if somebody with blonde hair would really want something that deep. They both do look a little warm. So let's just try it out. I haven't used powder for my brows in such a long time. It's definitely warm. So if you don't like warm brows, you're not going to like these powders. It's doing a pretty nice job filling them in. Not too bad. I'm gonna use my spoolie at the end to soften them a little bit. I do like this brush though. I feel like it covers a lot of area. So those are the brows. I'm gonna spoolie them because they look a little intense. So that's what they look like. I'm not mad at this brow powder. It's not my favorite. I feel like it's a little too warm for me, and it makes my eyebrows look a little intense. So I would say that's a little bit of a con, but I do love that they included a brow pencil for you. There's also one for the eyeliner. I'm not really into gel eyeliner, so I'm going to skip that. Maybe in the future I'll play around with it a little bit more. I'm going to clean up with a Q-tip underneath the brows because I got a tiny bit of fallout. I'm going to be using one of the concealers from this eye palette as my eyeshadow primer, and then I'll just go ahead and set it right away. I don't know what kind of eye look I'm going for. Probably something a little bit more on the neutral side. I'm not going anywhere special today. I just have 2 errands to run. Nothing special though, so I don't want to be too out there. The only bummer for this palette as well is it's an eye palette, right? So you get your eyeliner brush, you get your brow brush, and then, I mean, the one I used for concealer you can probably use for eyeshadow, but I feel like they should have maybe put 1 or 2 other brushes for eyeshadow, maybe like a shadow brush, a blending brush, something like that, because, you know, you're gonna have your eyeliner on point, your brows on point, your concealer on point. What about your eyes? You know what I mean? So, I mean, we all obviously have our own eyeshadow brushes, but if you were purchasing this and you didn't have any eyeshadow brushes and you were just getting started, it would have been nice to have maybe a blending brush in there at least. One of the cool things about this palette, it does have the names on here, so I can really appreciate that, and you get a really nice good size mirror. I'm going to use the shade High Beam, which is kind of like a vanilla shade, and I'm just going to apply that to set that concealer. Okay, I'm going to take the shade Khaki, which is right here, and I'm going to apply that as my transition shade. There does seem to be a little bit of fallout, so just make sure you tap your brush. I'm really liking this shade. Now what I want to do is add a deeper shade. Now I'm going to take this shade Embark. It's right here. It's just a dark chocolatey brown color, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit. And I'm just going to buff that on my outer corner. Wow, that's really pigmented. I didn't add that much. That's pretty awesome. I'm going to have to blend that out. I didn't want it to be, I didn't think it was going to be that dark. It's pretty awesome. And I know that these palettes tend to also be pretty affordable. My concealer one that I purchased I think was around $7.99, but I will definitely go on the website and try to link it down below for you guys if you're interested. Okay, so that definitely a lot darker than I expected, so I'm just gonna go in with the original brush and blend away. Sometimes Profusion eyeshadows can be hit or miss because I've had palettes in the past that were very hit and miss, but so far I'm really enjoying these shadows. Can't believe how pigmented that color was. I'm going to go in with this orange color right here. It's called Terracotta. It's a perfect name for that shade. I'm just going to add a little bit just to try to blend out that deep shade a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to take a flat brush and find one of these shimmery shades. Let's see, there's actually a couple. I'm going to take this shade called Dusk to Dawn, which is up here. It's a little bit mauve-y toned. I'm just going to pop that on my lid. Let's see how well the shimmer shades are, because I have been really enjoying all these matte shades. It's not the most bam in your face, but I'm gonna try and see if I wet it, if it will help. It just gives you like a nice little bit of pop. You can definitely tell that I have a shimmer eyeshadow on, but it's not like bam in your face. And I kind of want that when I apply a shimmery shade. So I'm going to just wet my brush. Oh yeah. Now it's more bam in your face, which is what I want. I'm going to take the shade Cream, which is another shimmer shade, and pop it in the inner corner. Ooh, that one is really gorgeous. Definitely do not have to wet this one. So definitely hits and misses, because this shimmery one is ba-bam in your face and you do not have to wet your brush. And I just added a little bit underneath my brow bone just to make it pop. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup. I just need to apply my lipstick and do my lashes and eyeliner, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so I'm back. all I did was apply mascara. I ended up adding 2 shades to my lower lash line. I did Terracotta and Embark. I just mixed these 2 together. I didn't end up doing eyeliner. I just did a nude lip. I'm actually wearing one of the Kate Moss lipsticks in the shade 45. And I ended up applying 2 of the eyeshadows as my highlighter. And I used the shade Cream and Pearly. So this is the one I put on my inner corner, and then this is the one down at the bottom. It's called Pearly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch all of the eyeshadows, and I'm going to leave a picture at the end. Now, for being my first impression on all these products, I would say the eBay brush was okay. It's soft, but I didn't really like the way it worked with any of these concealer and cream products too well. I think I might try it in another video or just test it out a couple of times with possibly foundation, see how I like it, but I didn't really enjoy the brush very much. I really loved the sponge. It's still wet, and it's like it's still wet, it's still in really good condition. I really like the point. I like how hydrating it made my skin feel, and my skin looked super dewy, and I had a really nice fit. It left a really good finish with the foundation that I used. And normally this Rimmel foundation kind of leaves me a little cakey because it's a little bit thicker. So I always have to do extra moisturizer, make sure I prime, and I'm constantly hydrating. This worked amazing. Now the little cream sticks. I love the shades. I hate that they dry so quickly, so you have to work fairly quickly and just do section by section. You know, I had a hard time blending it out, so I ended up going in with the sponge as to the brush because the sponge worked a lot better just to help it blend out. But I feel like if you work in sections, you're gonna love it. I ended up really enjoying this highlighter. I used it kind of to go over my concealer because originally with the concealers that were in the eye palette, it kind of rubbed off and you can see the redness through my face. You can see the redness underneath the foundation, so it really helped. With this eye kit or eyeshadow palette, it's really awesome. You're getting 3 brushes. I used 2 of the 3 brushes. I used the brow one and then the other one that's kind of like an eyeshadow concealer. I used it for concealer. I did use both of the concealers. I really enjoyed the consistency. They're very creamy, but you do have to set them right away or they will crease. I did not try the eyeliner, but I tried the brow powder and I liked it. It's a little too warm for me personally, but I feel like on a day that maybe I just want to throw on some brow powder, I'll definitely reach for this. You get 2 shades. You get the brunette and the blonde. Honestly, they're like identical to me. And it also comes with what I thought was mascara, but it's actually an eyeshadow primer. But I ended up using the concealers that were in here as my eyeshadow primer, and it actually worked really nice. But it's cute. I had no idea that it was an eyeshadow primer. And it even says it on here if I would have just read it. But that's pretty awesome. And then on the other side, you're getting 24 eyeshadows. Now I tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I tried 6 of the shadows. I fell in love with the matte shadows instantly, and I feel like the shimmer ones are a little hit and miss. The one in my inner corner is actually called Cream. That one was amazing. That one really surprised me because I thought I was gonna have to wet my brush like I did when I used the other one that's all over my lid, but that was not the case. And then I ended up mixing Cream and Pearly as my highlight, and I did not have to wet my brush or anything, and I got a really nice glowy highlight. So overall, I'm really satisfied. I'm really happy with this palette. If you see it at Ross or anywhere like that, I would say pick it up. I don't know exactly how much it costs. Like I said before, I'm going to try to find it on their website and I'll link it down below. And And I did want to do a quick little disclaimer before I finish. This video is definitely not sponsored in any way. Profusion sent me some goodies, and I had the option to do a video or not, and I just wanted to test them out. It was the first time I was going to be testing any of these products out, and honestly I was pleasantly surprised on how much I really enjoyed their products. There's definitely some gems in there, and once again I really loved this highlighting and contour kit, and I loved this eyes palette. This was probably my favorite. I think you're gonna get the most bang for your buck because you're getting so many different products and they're actually really good. Let me know down below if you've tried any of these products, what your thoughts are, and if there's any other Profusion things that maybe you want me to test out, and I can try to find that on the website so I can pick it up. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And also I'm having a giveaway on my Instagram, so don't forget to go check that out. I'm going to leave all my information down below, and I'm going to link as many of these products as I can for you guys. Have a wonderful day, everyone.